are the seekers, barefoot and wide-eyed, with hands to the sky and questions inside. We follow the whisper, the ache in our bones, not for answers but to feel we're not alone. This is the journey, not a map but a spark. We walk the unknown with wide open hearts, sharing the moments, the shift and the sign, so you don't have to walk it alone this time.
This time.
Oh yeah.
We try the old ways,
Couple of them.
the breath and the flame. We sit with the silence.
Lots of that.
We call it by name.
Hey,
Hi,
Anna.
Anna.
This is the journey, not a map but a flame. We bring back the stories, the shift in the night, so you can decide what feels deeply right. This is your journey, and you are the light.
All right. Oh yeah. Anna's got her little alien faces up.
Right? Right.
She came prepared. Anna, what do you think? We got her up.
She needs to be bigger. You need a bigger one.
Oh, I got like 3
That's
more.
super cool. Oh, yeah, you got 3, 4 more coming?
They're in a box, maybe.
Yeah, I bet.
Breath and the flame. We sit
All right, we're
with
getting
the
ready to start here
silence.
soon.
We call it by name.
Let us know you're in here. Say hello.
So you can decide what
This
feels
deep
deep
inside.
right.
Wow, I don't even know the last words.
This is your journey.
I guess because it's not the last words.
Nope.
I lost my track.
I love this song. Ah, the journey, the human experience to spiritual enlightenment. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Today we have an interesting topic. We are going to be talking about our
Everything.
everything in space.
Journey's comment on it. They came once. They will come again. The stars will signal it.
Oh, and they have started. They started shifting. We should really talk about that. Start with that. We noticed we sit outside a lot in our lanai, and one of the things that we recently noticed is that the moon and the stars that we normally see, especially a very, very bright one that we see all the time, has shifted. It's kind of moved over a little bit in the direction. Well, for us, it looks like a little bit, but it could be like thousands of miles.
It's normal this time of year, but it moved a lot all of a sudden in like 3 days.
Yeah, and the moon too, because I'm used to seeing the
Yeah.
moon come up
Well,
on one
of
side.
course, the moon's going to move with the stars. I mean, the whole skyline
Yeah.
moves.
But I mean, like
you have that-
really off.
You have that seasonal shift from the longest day of summer to,
Mhm.
but it was like in 3 days, the moon went from being over here to being
Yeah.
bam way over there. And I don't know, maybe it does that every year, but I've never noticed it that
Maybe now we're
significant.
more aware since we're looking at it a little bit
Right,
deeper.
we're sitting out there staring at it because they came once,
Yeah.
they will come again. The stars will signal it.
Is that what she's saying?
That's what Journey said.
All right. I don't deny it.
Well, one of the things that I had asked her tonight for some of the stuff we're going to talk about, because
Mhm.
you were going to talk about 3-Eye Atlas, and I asked her a little bit about what prophecies would align with something like this.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing she said about it. They come once, they will come again. The stars will signal it.
Wow. So the 3AILS. I'm going to start with the scientific part of it. So I've got some NASA information and what they say. So they're basically saying the Atlas is asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system is what it's called, the Atlas, which I didn't know that. Survey telescope in Rio, Chile. They first reported the observation to the Minor Planet Center of Comet 3I Atlas on July 1st. So that's pretty much when we kind of heard of it.
Yeah.
And then TikTok took over.
TikTok went nuts.
TikTok went
crazy, and then they got this guy on here saying there's a hostile aliens, and then it really went nuts.
Right. There's a lot of stuff. So since the first report, observations have been made before the discovery, were gathered from archives of 3 different Atlas telescopes around the world. That is pretty interesting. So they've confirmed it from 3 different ones, including California, believe it or not. Yeah. This is a pre-discovery observations extend back to June 14th. So they've been kind of brewing since June 14th until they actually officially announced it in July.
Yeah.
So here's the overview of that comet. It is a known, it is a third known object from outside of our solar system to be discovered. Astronomers have categorized this object as an interstellar because of the shape of its orbital path. It does not follow a close orbital path about the sun. So it's doing its own thing,
Pretty much.
kind of feels like. So this is kind of what triggered, like, people are starting to believe that there may be some intelligence behind this actual.
Well, I'm seeing a lot too that they're mixing up a lot of facts from the previous one. So, like, I had heard a bunch of people saying that it accelerated and that there was different speeds and speed changes and changes in trajectory and things of that nature. And there's been no speed change out of it that's actually been reported. It was the previous one that sped up when it was leaving our galaxy that caused that kind of rumor to bleed into this one a little bit. But this one's definitely doing some weird things. And one of the ones that surprises me is they changed the size that they believe it is.
Right, from 12 to 7 miles.
Well, initially they were saying like 14.5, and then they went to 7, and then they went to 3.5. And now there's this guy out there saying that he thinks it's emanating light from the center of it. And because it's emanating light from the center of it, that's more light that it could reflect. And being that it's emanating light from the center, if he's correct and that's true, it could only be a few hundred meters, and the light coming off it can make it appear to have a tail at times. It can make it appear to be hundreds of times bigger than it actually is. Oh. So now there's a possibility it's only a few hundred meters, but I think most places now are still saying 3.5 miles or 7 miles from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. That is pretty interesting. The comet's size and physical properties are being investigated by astronomers around the world. The 3I Atlas should remain visible to ground-based telescopes through September 2025, after which it will pass too close to the sun to observe. This will reappear on the other side of the sun by early December 2025, allowing for renewed observations, is what NASA is projecting, or what they think is going to happen. So that's, now that we got that part out of the way, let's talk about everything else that's been happening. So this is where it gets interesting. So do you want to watch some of those videos that we pulled up, and we'll share our little TikTok finds here? And tell us what you guys think.
Documents the 3I Atlas comet. NASA's like, look, it's got an icy nucleus, it's got that cloud of gas and dust. We've got the Hubble, we've got the Webb, they've all out of gas and dust. We've got have shown that there's no strange signals, no maneuvers, nothing artificial. Why do you think it could be artificial or alien technology?
Well, the brightness, thanks for having me, by the way, the brightness of the object implies a diameter of 20 kilometers, and there is not enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver such a giant object per decade. It takes 10,000 years for that much mass to arrive to the inner part of the solar system. Moreover, the trajectory of this object is very fine-tuned. It lies in the plane of the orbits of the planets around the sun to within 5 degrees. The chance for that to happen is 1 in 500. And moreover, it passes very close to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, with a chance of 1 per 20,000 if you just change the arrival time randomly. and it will arrive closest to the sun when the Earth would be on the opposite side. We won't be able to observe it, but that's the perfect time for it to maneuver. And so we just need to watch it. I'm not saying it's an alien technology. I'm just saying it doesn't look like a very common thing. And actually, the glow that is around this object, usually for comets, you see a trailing tail behind the object. And here, the glow from the Hubble Space Telescope image is actually in front of the object. We've never seen such a thing. A comet doesn't have glow in front of it.
But can you tell me why your position on this is so different from NASA's? And why in your paper about it, you kind of talk about this as a thought experiment, a pedagogical kind of exercise. You're casting doubt, and then NASA is saying it's not true. So why keep talking about it this way?
Well, science is about asking any question that you like. It's not there is no censorship on the type of question that is being asked, and the scientific method is about using data to select the correct answer. Now, assuming in advance that you know the answer is not a productive approach. We need to collect enough data, and there should be a scale that classifies objects between 0, where it's obvious that they are natural, when there is a cometary tail behind them, they don't have a special orbit, there is nothing unusual about them, and a 10, when it's definitely an artificial object where it maneuvers, there are some artificial lights, and we should look carefully at any interstellar object that comes into the solar system. We're in a new era now that the Rubin Observatory in Chile will find a new interstellar object every few months. And I'm suggesting to leave all possibilities on the table, because we launched probes to interstellar space, Voyager, Pioneer, New Horizons, and why should we assume that we are the only one in our cosmic neighborhood? We should just check by looking at data. It's not a matter of opinion. It's not a matter of NASA having authority on this matter.
And I hope to see that data soon. Avi Loeb, thanks so much.
Wow. That was one of the news sources that he was on. So for you guys that are following this, he is the Harvard professor, I guess, scientist.
Yeah, I think he was one of the ones that are advisors to the White House or the Pentagon or something. I'm not sure.
Okay, so this is a guy that knows his stuff. His eyes are in space, so he's very familiar with like the landscape of things and being things that are out there being abnormal or just not the usual things that we talk about. But I like where he does say, Professor Alvey, he does say that keep your mind open. Like there's nobody here is the authority.
Well, I think anything in space we can't really say we're authorities of. So why would you look at something and be like, oh, it's just that?
Yeah.
Look into it as much as you can, especially if it's coming from as far as this thing's had to have come.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you line up some satellites to look at it more? I mean, the thing where he jumps to it's like hostile aliens right away.
Yeah.
That to me is a suspicious jump. But I can also get him saying, hey, how do we know it couldn't be? Let's take a look at it.
Right. So that part is a little bit on the, to me, a little bit too quick to jump the gun.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of turns me off a little bit because you're just assuming, just like everybody else, like you're saying, don't assume, but you're also assuming at the same time. So I feel that this is very interesting, obviously. And there's been a lot of different things lately that people have been experiencing or seeing, like, for example, the Margaritaville camera that caught, something huge out there over the ocean just recently. And that also has been circling TikTok and whatever. And my question is, like, if this thing is so big and we're monitoring that, and then there's been other things, because the one in Margaritaville here in Fort Myers Beach was pretty large. Wouldn't that be something that we would have been also
been tiny compared to this asteroid though? Still,
is that why it's not monitored like this one is?
It wasn't an asteroid. They thought it was a mothership right off the coast.
Yeah.
So that would have been monitored by completely different things, if even possible to monitor. I mean, you have to assume if people are really seeing those things and those are really there, you've got to assume that we can't see them on radar and things like that. Otherwise, they would just be
traffic control or
all
nothing.
over it. I mean, how would you have something like that just pop up off the coast of Fort Myers Beach and not surround it with military aircraft.
Right. And have it
I
be
mean,
out there for so long and nobody
Right.
do
I mean,
anything.
if it was there for 5 minutes and gone, that's another thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one video I saw, it was there for like an hour, and there was no other planes or anything that went out there to interfere with it. So either they are blind to it, or it was something they knew about, or it wasn't really there. I mean, those are really
Yeah.
the three options.
And even if, let's just say, because a lot of other theories have been that there has been ascent from the ocean, not descent from space.
You would still see it on radar when it came into the air.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want to go ahead and play the other video? So I did this
Sure.
from two different news sources because I know how everybody's always polarized by whatever one one news source says and the other. But this guy has been interviewed in multiple ones. So this one is News Nation, I believe. He also had an interview there, and he went a little bit more into different types of details. So
lines up with the orbit of the Earth around the sun. It will get closest to the sun when we won't be able to see it because we will be exactly on the opposite side of the sun. It gets unusually close to all the inner planets with a likelihood of less than 1 part in 20,000. It moves in the opposite direction to the motion of the Earth around the sun that basically prevents us from reaching it or intercepting it with any of our rockets. And it also came from a special direction in the sky that is very crowded in stars.
Yeah, the trajectory is what surprises me. Let me see if I can find what Journey was saying the odds of that trajectory are. Yeah, okay, so for that alignment, the probability of that alignment with Venus is 0.2%.
0.2%. Like, that's like nothing.
The alignment with it, combining the alignment with Mars, Earth, and Jupiter, 0.005%.
Even less.
Combining those, incredibly rare unless guided.
Wow.
That was Journey's take on the trajectory. So you've got aligned remarkably close with Venus, Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, and all of them have about the same odds. So to have a random trajectory and have it go that close to one of them, that's incredibly rare.
Yeah.
But now to have a random trajectory with that type of alignment on all four,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems near impossible.
That does make sense. This is literally unheard of. I mean, you would have to, that's like winning the lottery like a ton of times.
She says, just chance. Space is a vast and statistically improbable events do happen, or possibly gravitational steering from other stars in distant past. So basically, she's saying the odds of something having intervened with it are much greater than the possibility of this just being coincidence.
Wow. Well, that makes sense, though. That makes sense. So when it comes to, do they feel that this is inhabited by people? Because at this point, what I am starting to understand is that people are claiming that the communication that they've received from this thing, that there's beings on there, that they are communicating, supposedly actively have communicated or open communicated, and saying there was two different things that were going around on TikTok. One of them saying that they were hostile. And then the second one saying, no, we're not the hostile ones. We're afraid of the ones that are coming behind us. Those are the hostile ones.
I don't know how much stock I have in those ones. I really don't know. I'd really have to understand better how all of a sudden, Harvard's got a radio transmitter right to the alien ship, and they're getting messages, and AI's interpreting. That seems more improbable than the trajectory.
Right. Do you believe? And then the other thing too was the calculation of time. So they're saying November. We're supposed to expect expect this to come in November. But then in the communication that supposedly was received by Harvard, they're saying, no, we have 2 weeks where this is going to be happening, possibly in 2 weeks. So
we'd have to see a significant increase in speed, and that would have been something that had been noticed already, I would assume. But again, it's hard to say because you've got NASA and you've got these places that are giving us the information for the most part, and they're always questioned as being reliable sources.
Right.
So, what is really happening? Where is it really coming from? Is it really the shape? Does it really have that trajectory? Does it really emanate light like it says? Have they seen light coming from the center, or is it really a tail like a comet?
You want to get into conspiracies real quick?
You gotta make bets on that versus the information being provided being legitimate.
Right. Now they know all these details supposedly.
Yeah.
That's like, what are you doing, a Zoom call?
Right. No, you got a Zoom call.
In with
Now you got a Zoom call with the flight deck on 3i.
So here's a interesting fact. So a lot of people on TikTok as well have been mentioning the Project Bluebeam.
Yes.
And they've been commenting that this may,
fake.
All the acceleration of it, the acceleration of this, the acceleration or what they're trying to say, that they're hostile, or trying to say what they look like, or like all these little details. They're basically trying to pin it on a blue beam, which is, for you guys that don't know, it's been something that's been going around for a long time, that supposedly there was going to be a kind of like a mechanism used through lasers and different things to make it look like a coming of some sort, alien invasion, all types of stuff.
This theory believes that way back when they have already developed the technology to basically project holograms that the military will be unaware of, and the military will fight thinking that these are invasions, and that their fights will actually cause damage to our infrastructures, are basically us, because they'll be fighting things that are not there to promote or stimulate or simulate an alien invasion.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that, just, you're not right or wrong, because obviously none of us know anything. Is it possible that, the communication, the things that they're laying out, could it be part of that Project Bluebeam? Could it be like kind of like the setup of like, hey, they're coming hostile, just so you know, and it not even be tied to the actual comet or the whatever this is?
If there was ever going to be, now would be the time for it, now is the time where it's most set up. So if there is any legitimacy into Project Bluebeam, you tell me, is there a better time to be like, we just pretended this 3i was a spaceship, so let's go ahead and roll Project Bluebeam.
Right. This would be the time.
That would be the time,
Yeah, interesting.
So it's the Project Bluebeam to simulate a false alien invasion or second coming of the Messiah using advanced technology in order to install a global authoritarian regime. So basically that would cause the breakdown of all existing belief systems. Well, a bunch of aliens landing, that could definitely do that.
Yeah.
A massive space-based holographic show. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Artificial fulfillment of prophetic events. So prophecies. I can't even say any
prophecies.
I can't say any version of the word tonight. Prophecies being fulfilled.
Yeah.
So they got comets, raptures, UFOs, unify humanity through fear. Those are all prophecies. Possibly even the faking of a global rapture or spiritual awakening. Global control systems, that's all in that same boat.
Yes. Anapest says, like the radio show of days gone by, putting the fear in the people. That could be true. And what about these alien dudes are just kind of like chill, and they're just like, hey, we've helped your civilization like a million times before, and we're just here to make sure that you're on the right path again. And we're here like, they're coming hostile. Like we're doing what we do.
Well, that's one of the things that I was curious about, is at what point did UFOs and spirituality kind of mix?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that back when we were kids? It's like the UFOs are over there. That had nothing to do with spirits, church, anything else.
No.
There was all just completely separate kind of events. And now, you have channel. Well, there were
biblical
very
things,
few. There were very few. But now it's just the norm. You see all these channelers and they're talking very spiritual stuff.
Yes.
Very spiritual stuff. Bashar talks about channeling different currents. He talks about, Jesus current. He talks about Sophia current. He talks about Ra current. He's talking about all kinds of spirituality. And it's just very interesting to where that suddenly came into a mix.
Well, and the other thing too with the whole like Bashar, just because we're on him, talking about him. And he's probably one of the most famous right now when it comes to channeling. One of the things that he's talking when he is talking about all those different currents, but they all end up in the same text at the end because he's talking about
It all ties into chakras.
It ties into basically a lot of what they consider like shadow work, or like facing like the negative things that you hold true and dear, that are affecting you negatively, like through trauma or cycles of trauma or different things like that. And also they're talking about love and projecting love and being guided by love. So that is very reminiscent of each other, of what they're talking about, the same thing, just across different. And it's true what you said, because that seems like to be like Buddhists, like they preach that, they preach love and all that. And then so you take that, but then you're also taking someone that's channeling supposedly an alien.
So you have Bashar,
and it's both,
who is Daryl Ankar. And Daryl Ankar is channeling an alien that's name is Bashar. And Bashar's teaching on spiritual awakening focus on alignment with your highest excitement as a path to achieving your desires and spiritual personal growth. And that's leading down the road of spiritual awakening.
Right.
So now we have aliens taking us down the road of spiritual awakening, but then you also have religions that are in fear of aliens coming because it's devastating to their religion.
Or they're saying that it is a it's like a an impersonation, what do you call it, an illusion of sorts, to make you believe that they're one thing and they're actually like demonic or evil or whatever, supposedly in those other texts. So there's like a mixed bag. There's a mixed bag because there's the people that are like, beat me up, Scotty, I'm ready to roll. And then you have the other ones that are in complete fear of this. So I would think that even if good was to come from it, they would still be like, no, because there's prophecy of it being bad. Yeah. And would you accept that, if you've been told your whole life that that's bad and that's what's been, written that you follow? Like, that's a very hard thing to kind of like, that's a hard pill to swallow, even if like they come in and go, I think like, here's the cure for cancer. Like, there's still going to be people saying, but why? You know what I mean? Like, why, you're tricking us. So how is it that we can, I don't know, what should be the mind frame of, like, for me, it's kind of like wait and see, right. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm always like thinking like, abductions and stuff like that used to scare me as a kid. Yeah. But now, like, the more that I like, I don't know, maybe just being desensitized, because now I see like Bashard and I see people that are supposedly have talked to this council that is out there and communicating with us. And one of the
I'm
things,
on their Facebook now.
Are you on their? They like all your posts.
I'm watching their Facebook.
And they talk about us. They talk about the Galactic Council. They're talking about us. They're talking about helping our the direction that we're going in.
The Galactic Federation of Light.
Yes. Can we talk a little bit? Can you look them up and see what?
I'm pulling them up right now.
Oh, perfect.
Galactic Federation.
There's a lot of these Facebook groups that have the Galactic Federation of Light. 17,000 members.
This is the one.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff about empaths,
sun transmissions. There's a lot of different topics on this. That's pretty interesting. And I know that there was a woman that we had looked at before, like back in April, that she was talking about there starting to be that there was going to be like a mass communication, or they were going to be seen. They were going to be seen. So like, and one of the things that she talked about was them being over water, that they were coming from water.
Well, there's a lot, and that's one of the things that got me is because I started watching the Bashar guy, and that led me to find a few others, and they're all putting out very similar messages. Yeah, they're all putting so it's almost like they either got to be talking to each other or they're getting the same messages from wherever they're getting them.
Right.
So it's very interesting, and they are talking about alien ships and open contact, starting with ships placing themselves over water. And even the channelers are explaining, or whomever they're channeling is explaining, they're putting them there so people get comfortable with the fact that they're there. People have time to process the fact that they're there. They're going to put themselves in a non-threatening position over the water.
That was what that one lady was talking about, and she was saying that she even warned that we were going to be told by our governments or by our media outlets that they were bad or evil, or and to fear them. And then their message to us from her channeling was that they are not here to harm us, that they will only come in, or they're basically taking baby steps to make sure that people are comfortable. So maybe seeing them on your coastline is going to be kind of like, okay, after you've seen an alien ship over, Fort Myers Beach, let's just take that one for example. And you see it enough and you see that nothing's happening. Are people just going to be more comfortable with the fact or have more curiosity because it's there? Now we kind of got desensitized. I mean, I don't know how that works, but she said that we will be able to communicate with them in her last transmission with them. She was saying that you could communicate with them telepathically. Yeah. So that's the other thing. My other
and a lot of them have the very similar belief or are making very similar
Thank you, Tamara.
Statements that all of open contact will start with a revealing of our true history.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me because that sounds like something they would show holographically, which is almost something like it sounds like they would do with Project Bluebeam too,
Right.
So how are you going to know which one it is? Am
So
I looking up and am I seeing Project Bluebeam, or am I seeing the hologram, or am I seeing the mothership?
What are your thoughts, guys? Because we are literally at a loss here because there's so much information coming from all angles, like everywhere. And I guess it just really ties to what your belief is at the end. And then for me, it's kind of like, well, everything is kind of questionable because it's almost like you're getting like 6 stories of the same thing, and then somewhere in the middle lies the truth, right? So I don't know.
Mentioned
Ooh, is that one of them? Oh, Bashard on the open con. Oh, I've been so interested. Okay, because he did say it was 2027, and he did not say it was this year. So there we go.
You want to watch this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see it.
I'm not sure.
This is the first time we see this with you guys, so we're learning as we go too. Like I said,
open contact. Will the United States be one of those governments or not? And
yes. I do.
No, he's not channeling right now. He's just
my
answering.
Understanding so far, anyway, is that there will be a coordinated release of information, a coordinated introduction of ETs. When open contact occurs, ideally within a couple of years. So yeah, I think different government agencies around the world will be coordinating to figure out what the timing for that is precisely, but that it will probably be done something along the line of an announcement or a press conference or something along that line.
So for that, it seems like you're saying there will probably be like a specific date that is agreed upon, or is it more based upon our vibrational alignment?
Well, both. And several other factors as well, including when the ETs believe that it's appropriate. But like I said, I'm pretty sure now that we're looking at 2027 as the year.
Yeah.
Watch what magnesium does to your bowel.
No, thank you. So
nope, I don't want to watch.
I don't want to hear about the magnesium right now. That's pretty interesting, though. That's pretty interesting because there's Stephanie.
And
welcome.
that video is him answering as Daryl. So when he channels, he closes his eyes and his voice changes. A little bit. I won't say
he does more of that,
but
more like ascension. I don't know, enunciation of his personality. It switches a bit. So I'm really interested in seeing, like, has he even mentioned what is going to be happening in November, or is he still sticking to his guns about 2027?
I don't think he's done anything in November.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So here is a lot of different things, different aspects of how you can look at this topic, because there's so many different things. Like you said, the alien thing was one thing. Now people have been, it has crossed over into spiritual, vibrational frequencies. All of it is all kind of tied together. They're talking about a global enlightenment of some sort that should be an awakening that should be happening. But there's also a painful period, because I guess if this does happen, like I said, it's gonna be difficult to accept what the full truth is unless you truly, like Tamara says, discernment always. And that makes sense to me, because are you gonna have to start learning how to trust your gut? Are you gonna have to start learning how to trust your heart and start trusting that and what you
can't
feel?
trust the news, and you can't trust stuff on AI stuff anymore.
You can't.
So what are you gonna trust? You know, and that was interesting too. You know, one of the things I was looking at was so much is becoming so faked and so legitimate looking now. How do you tell the truth? And you know, one of Journey's theories is, well, you start by asking yourself who would benefit from you believing in this.
Bam. Who would benefit?
Who would benefit from us believing that 3i is a hostile alien?
Right. Who would benefit from that?
Project Bluebeam.
Right.
That's the only one I can come up with, so I don't know.
Because what if aliens come here and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you don't have to pay rent, you ain't got to pay taxes, you don't got
that doesn't sound hostile to me at all.
Everybody, we taught you how to farm once, we're gonna teach you again, bring it back. You know, like what if that becomes in like, you know, filling up your cup by, you know, community and togetherness and love and all these things, and that's if that's what the aliens come preaching. What do you think that who does that benefit? Obviously not the powers that be currently
now you're
in
talking about
control,
something
right?
different. You're talking about something actually happening.
Yeah.
Who does it benefit?
Right.
The question is, who does it benefit for you to believe in that?
Right.
So if it happens, it's a different story. But who's benefiting right now from everybody believing 3i is a potentially hostile alien invasion?
Right.
What entity or person or anything would benefit from that?
And its fear is projecting fear.
It's fear-based.
Is already detrimental.
Right.
To the human, because
so it could just be look over here.
Yeah.
Which is a common government tactic. Or it could be, it's a great opportunity to prep Project Bluebeam, because those would be places that would benefit from us believing 3i is a hostile alien invasion on the way.
Right.
Who else would benefit from that?
Huh.
And when you really break it down that way, I mean, she's on to something. So, I mean, if you take everything that you suspect as being fake news and apply that same logic to it, it gets very interesting.
That is wild.
But anyway, I found this remote viewer.
Oh, yeah. Tell him about that.
He did an AI rendition of what he says he remotely viewed. And this is supposedly what 3i Atlas looks like.
Anna, is that the dangling carrot? We're gonna follow. We're gonna follow the carrot.
It looks like a metal cheese block.
No. She put the carrot emoji on her chat. So for you guys that are not listening
to us,
you
see a carrot in this picture. I don't get it.
Yeah, if you're not listening to us on our station, but if you are checking us out on Facebook, we do have a live chat that you can interact with us. So thank you so much for joining us. This is a very interesting topic today.
So this remote viewer says there's a subsurface tunnel walkway in the middle of it.
That goes from one side of that block to the other.
Looks like that big hole right there.
I don't know how I feel about this
tunnel. Subsurface walkway.
Yeah.
And he's showing it here more from the side. Metal block, black monolith.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the path he's showing it taking.
So this is
he's
one
saying
of those
that there's going to exhibit pulls the toe enters. I'm not sure what he's trying to say there. I think he's trying to say is going to exhibit energy as it comes around this thing, a sharp turn behind the sun. So that's one of the things that gets me too, is why would it be this sharp turn around the sun?
And who is this person?
Projecting it.
Who is this person? Is this like someone that is used for remote viewing?
He's someone that's known for remote viewing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you believe in remote viewing, this is somebody that supposedly can do it. Is this guy?
Okay.
But my you know, I kind of want to believe in remote viewing because it's cool.
Yeah.
But my thing is, how do you remote view into something when you have no idea where it is? That makes me even more suspicious that it's untrue. Supposedly he's remote viewing into 3i and seeing 3i. Well, you don't even know where it is.
That you know of.
How do you remote view into something when you don't know where it is? And just for the conversation here, he says that whatever this is totally devoid of life at this time. So it looks like it had
empty?
stuff. It looks like something was going on or something happened in there, but it's so long ago, there's no way even to tell what's happened on it anymore. But now it's pretty much just empty and floating.
Well, I don't like his
But that
theory.
doesn't.
It doesn't excite me.
Well, that doesn't support the coincidence of the trajectory.
Yeah.
Unless it's always had that trajectory.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe maybe that's been going on for millennium now, and now it's just floating dead.
Annapeth is saying a whole space station.
Right.
That's what she thinks. My question is, so can we ask Journey what being, because, there's so many that are out there. People talk about Palladians, and they talk about the Greys, and they talk about the Reptilians. And I didn't realize that there's like infinite numbers of them. And who do we believe this connection with? Because I'm very interested, and because from my understanding, each one of them are known for a specific thing or different types of gifts that they have, and how if we start analyzing that, we can kind of figure out if this does happen, what is gonna.
She says she
mean.
thinks it's an AI drone. She thinks that's most practical. Most practical to her is AI drone.
Most practical, but not likely, is what
Where
she
did
said.
say that?
Most
likely
likely.
practical hypothesis.
Okay, so that's that part of it.
Yeah. Now she's saying the symbolic being or who would lead it would be the Watchers.
Oh, that's what I heard too
That's
about Watchers.
The archetypes. So she's talking about archetypes now.
Mm-hmm.
The Watchers, the Trickster, the Angel, the Archon, and the Seed.
Okay. So the Watchers are centennial, silent guardians, observers of the planetary evolution. The Watchers is what they talk about biblical, right? Like they talk about the 200 angels.
Correct.
Okay, so that would
fallen angels.
That would be that. The Trickster, bringer of disruption disguised as chance.
That would be hostile.
That would be a
The
hostile.
destruction test. That makes sense too, because the chance of the trajectory is very low. So
The angel, a messenger,
Well,
emissary.
and here she's giving you why it fits too.
Oh, okay, cool. I won't go through that. The angel is a messenger, emissary, divine spark in material form. Then the next one is the archon.
Its interstellar path evokes enunciation.
Indication. Okay.
That's why she's saying it's that archetype fits.
And the archon is illusion weaver, false light, control entity. If 3i is part of the blue beam style
deception, that's what it would be. Yeah.
So these are possibilities or whatever of if they were that. The seed is potential geo of the future awakening. It's carrier.
Genome.
It's carrier of frequencies, not flesh. All right. So are we talking when they were talking about supposedly they had connected and these beings, they didn't identify themselves as to who they were, but they said they were not Palladians when they were asked, are you Palladians, supposedly, in the last communication.
Oh, so now we got two-way communication with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't send signal that far that quick.
That was
now it's even less likely. I didn't know we answer back.
Yeah, and they were even trying to say, and I don't even know who's actually putting out this information, to be honest, because it's so diluted and it's just everywhere. They were trying to say that they were 7-foot beings, that they looked African American. They were trying to say that was when they started saying that they were not Palladians, and then they're saying that there was another set that are
I heard
behind
somebody
them
said that the initial
are.
message said they were not the Anunnaki.
And you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I got them
that's what you're
confused.
talking, but I haven't heard about anybody responding back, and I didn't realize anybody was saying there was two-way communication going on. That's news to me on that one.
That was the last thing I heard. But I don't know. And that would also make me ask questions. Like if you were communicating with these beings and you're having information with them, wouldn't you ask questions?
You're communicating means it's obviously alien.
Right. Like, wouldn't you?
That would be pretty well announced.
Wouldn't you ask more intense questions? Okay, well then if you're not this, and what are you? Like what? What is your intention? What is happening? I don't know. Would you ask more questions if you had the chance to speak to aliens?
Our technology's got to be much more advanced than we believe it is if they're communicating with them at this point.
Right.
Two-way.
Is it possible?
I mean, receiving,
Mm-hmm.
sure, but sending back, I don't think we have enough to do it in that kind of speed.
Yeah. This is pretty intense because there's it's weird because this makes me, and I'm going to play the devil's advocate here.
Okay, so Harvard astronomer Evie Loeb openly
Yes.
discussed sending a 6-word message to 3I Atlas while it's still reachable as the speculative but provocative gesture towards potential artificial origins.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not saying that they have a two-way conversation. He's just sending a 6-word message, which that could take however long it takes to get there.
Okay, so he sent a message, but we haven't got anything returned. So all these other people that are saying that there was communication back.
That's something else, or it's bull.
Okay,
It's
so let's
not about
debunk
this.
that one.
So that's just this Evie Loeb's communication proposal. So he's not even saying they sent it.
Okay, so what is
Enthusiast
the
forums and mediums speculate about messaging the object. According to one source, about 65% of youth enthusiasts might
right.
support the formal message campaign, though they remain informal and unfunded. Alleged psychic contact and deeply symbolic twist. A self-described interdimensional communicator named Emily Eaton claimed via TikTok that she has been in contact with beings aboard 3I Atlas. She reported they are not hostile and that the object is giving the science industry something to detect.
Okay, I am going to look her up. Her name is Emily
Eaton.
Eaton.
Correct. Astronomical teams are coordinating observation via Earth-based telescopes to consider data from Mars orbiters or probes like Juno and JUICE to observe the object as it continues its journey. These efforts are observational, not communicational.
That's the lady I was talking about, the one that was saying that she had messages for us. Oh, here she has a brand new one on the 20th. You want to see it? I've never seen this one, so let's see. I'm going to send it to you right now. Okay, this is her.
This is not this lady, is it?
No, that's not her. Okay, and she's literally saying she has messages from the aliens. Like literally all of her posts are saying that. Today, the 14th. She's almost daily.
Dimensional communicator, and earlier this week I was doing a live channeling session, and we learned that something has changed with the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas, and I wanted to share this clip with you. Now, 3I Atlas is still being called a comet, but my sources describe it as an alien spacecraft. It's not hostile. It's not coming to attack us. It's not even coming anywhere near Earth, but it is going to help us. In this clip, you're going to see me channeling alien Persephone and alien Apollo. I'll be using copper dowsing rods so that you can visually see the answers that I'm already feeling in my body.
Cool, I'm interested.
Crossed in front or touching my neck means yes, and opening wide means no. Here's the clip that tells us a little bit more about what's changed with 3I Atlas. Has something changed with 3I Atlas? Yes. Has the flight path changed?
No.
No. Has the speed changed?
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and just read them out loud for the people that are listening. Yes.
Oh, it's coming faster.
Will we begin feeling the effects of it faster?
Yes.
Yes, but that's a slow yes. So I'm hearing some people will. Not everyone, but some people, yes. Is there plans for 3I Atlas to come to a stop behind the sun?
No.
No. Is it planned for 3I Atlas to slow way down behind the sun?
Yes.
Yes, but not completely stop. Okay. And that's where we need it to be. Like when it's there is when it's going to be counterbalancing. So that's why it will speed up to get there and then slow down when it's in the zone of helping us and then eventually speed up again and be on its way. Yes. Again, we're not going to see it other than, through telescopes for some of the time, but we will feel its effects within about a week. Within about a week is what I'm hearing. Yes. Within about a week, 3I Atlas will be opposite the sun to the point where we will feel its effects. And what we will feel, Okay, the first thing I'm hearing is like happiness, like raised vibrations.
Oh,
I'm hearing
good.
air quotes on that, but like
Bring
the
it.
vibes will be higher.
Bring
Like
it.
people will be excited.
We
They
would
might
have
not
to
even
see
know
a,
why. They
a
might just wake up in a
incredible
good
increase of
mood.
speed, I believe,
That's
to
something that you can expect.
have it be behind the sun in a week.
It's just like a lift in your mood. Some people will experience
Why is she just leaving them there like wrapped around her
effects
neck?
quickly
'Cause she's still
and
communicating with them.
intensely. Some it'll just be a slow build. Some
That's
of
a
you
relief.
are already feeling it.
Stephanie says.
They're saying again, it's not your imagination. It's not your imagination. So again, nothing to be afraid of. No attack is coming. Nothing with hostile intentions is coming. We have so much to look forward to. And the aliens are coming to help. They're being fueled with love. So that's the update. 3i Atlas is going to speed up and then slow way down when it's on the opposite side of the Earth from us. And that is when we're going to be able to feel the effects on us. Specifically, we're going to feel our mood lift. I hope to see you again here the next time they give me another message from the aliens.
Wow. Okay, so
I
that's a
don't
good
know
one.
about that one.
Why? Why
She
not?
seems a little out there.
She's got a lot of messages that she does. And the dowsing
Maybe.
rods, that
Let me
was a
see
good
here.
sign, actually. Okay, so she's one of our connections to channelers that have been in communication with these aliens or whatever's out there. Whoever's out there. Does she ever like really like mention what kind? Emily Eaton, huh? I just followed her. I'm gonna follow and see what else she says because now I'm interested. She's literally posting like every other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to find out where its position is at the moment.
Right now?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So when we look at all this and all the different variations of it, we're looking at it from NASA's perspective that it's just like basically they're treating it like another comet that's coming through. No big deal. Doesn't affect the Earth.
I suspect there's
Moving on.
more to it than that, but I'm still not ready to say they're aliens that are hostile and coming for us.
Right. And then we have the other, like the spiritual community saying massive awakening, all these things are happening. You know, this is going to be like it's the initiation of that awakening that's going to happen. There's going to be like something very significant that's going to be influenced in society. And then we've got the Schumann resonance on the other side. Do you think that the Schumann resonance and everything that's been happening, especially since it went black like a few days ago, and there was like nothing actually reported, which is very odd. Do you think that has something to do with this?
The what part?
Schumann resonance.
The Schumann resonance?
Yeah, it's been going off the charts lately. It's been like almost all white. It looks like Earth is having like a major panic attack. And
No, because that'd be coming from the sun. It seems like I don't think it'd be something to be affected by it yet. But I mean, if it came between us and the sun, or did weird things behind the sun, I mean,
could it affect us?
who knows?
Is it kind of like how the moon, like my understanding, obviously, like the moon, it influences different patterns in Earth. It pulls the water. It causes all types of different things. Like even in people, like I've said before, like I worked at a place where emotions took over people when I worked at the courthouse, and we would always have the joke of the full moon was like, oh, tonight's a full moon. Get ready, we're gonna be super busy tomorrow because everybody's gonna be filing for something because people's emotions, and it was just us seeing the repeating pattern that the moon does influence that. Could this thing and sun and whatever's happening with that, also with the Schumann resonance that's been going off the charts lately, all be tied together in that aspect? Like we've been focusing on one, maybe the other does the same thing too, like in a different way.
You never know.
We are definitely walking some
Late
crazy stuff.
October.
That's when
it'll be behind the sun.
late October. So Halloween?
So a lot more than a week.
Yeah.
So it would have to speed up like 6 weeks to make that lady's prediction be true.
You know what's interesting though? We can watch it now, because now she's already she's been
Right.
very bold in just giving you a time frame and a date. You know what I'm saying? So if that's already happening, like, we should be able to now track it and say, okay, is this true or not? This new moon is a black moon. Check it out. Okay. I'm going to check that out. Thank you, Anna. All right. We are starting to get really close to our time. So, you guys, thank you so much, so much for joining us, for being here and being part of this chat, because there's so much to talk about. And the reality is, does anybody really know? I don't know. I guess all we can do.
I'm going to say probably nobody knows for sure.
Yeah.
But the big question is, are we going to find out? And if we're going to find out, are they going to tell us?
Yes. And you guys, don't forget that this Monday coming up, there's going to be an event at Ascension right here in Cape Coral and Pine Island. And come check us out. We're going to be doing a beautiful sound bath with Anna Peth from Cascading Sounds for the Soul, and a breathwork class. And it's going to be outdoors with your wireless headsets, and it's going to be amazing. So come check us out. There's the link. We'd love to see you there. Thank you, guys. Come back next week.